I'm Matt Thornton with DallasSidekicks.com for the newest episode of Coach's Corner. I'm here with head coach Símon Bozas, director of soccer operations Jesse Llamas. Gentlemen, glad to be here again to talk to you guys, get your insights into the world that is Dallas Sidekicks. One thing, style-wise, Coach, you and I have talked over the years. I can't believe it's been almost 4 years now that you and I have talked about this. Don't hand the knife to the other team is your phrase that you use on a regular basis. What do you mean by that? Expand.
So if you take a look at the way that soccer is evolving around the world, especially in outdoor, and where it's going, it's been installed. Some people give a credit Pepe Guardiola or Frank Rijkaard or some of those coaches, but excessive ball possession is the way that it's going. I believe in that 100%. In order to do that, though, being it's not an outdoor game, it's an indoor game, it's a compressed field. The chances of losing it more often is more than an outdoor field, just because of size. There's nothing else in condensed spaces, right? So the key is that the way that we look to do things is to be able to have all 6 cylinders clicking at the same time. So if 6 cylinders do not click at the same time, all it takes one is to start breaking down the model. And so that comes through what we're talking about. Guys that know the indoor game, know where to go, where to stand, where to receive, when to let go, and so forth and so on. And so now, headed into this direction, we need to have the proper tools to play this style. And in order to do that, we need to have what we're talking about, which is that Latin flavor, that excessive ball possession guy that he's been doing that since he's 5 years old. And that's what we're going after. And so I think that the boys understand it. The ones that we have now, luckily for 2-3 seasons that play that style, plus the new ones incorporating, and then hopefully that will be a little faster momentum to pick up in order to help us get to the playoffs, which is the ultimate goal.
And, it sounds like you focus, I remember in a previous episode you mentioned that you really covet that midfielder, experience with midfielder. It sounds like you have kind of like an offensive type purview, if you will. The guy on your left, Jesse Llamas, defender, goalie, right? So Jesse, are you bringing some new wrinkles in?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the goalkeeper's vision and how to utilize your defenders as offensive pieces. Also knowing when to play to the playmaker at the right time so we can move up the field. How to push past that third line so the team doesn't press you as much. Knowing when to slow the game down instead of trying to counterattack quickly, and how to bring it to our feet. Those are all the aspects that I'm bringing into the organization. I was luckily enough last year to start to bring it in as an assistant coach, and then I was able to analyze and do a lot of background on each of the players and find our weaknesses and how many times we got the ball down the field and weren't able to execute in the final touch because our shot percentage was way low. I mean, we got so many opportunities 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Had we put half of those away, would have easily been in the playoffs. So that was one of our key positions that we were looking for, is how do we take advantage of that final point of execution, which is right in front of the goal.
Is it all really about, because a lot of the fans, that's the style, that's the plan, that's the problem, right? Then you got some, it's the players. So how do you balance those two things, Coach?
In my mind, it's not a balance. If we don't win, it's my fault.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
My players, I decide what players play. I'm the one that puts the 15 on the field. It's my fault, our fault, whatever you want to call it. I don't hinder onto that. And if a player is not executing, then it's my job to not put that player and put a player that is executing. So, and I've always been like that, and I'm not going about to change that. So, long story short, I wake up in the morning and I control my destiny is what I feel. And if we don't make playoffs, it is thanks to me, Símon Bozas, thanks to him. Yes.
Fascinating. The buck stops with you. I do want to get your opinion, Jesse, too, your insights in terms of execution, right? Because, a lot of people, they want to blame the system. They want to blame this. Where do you see the execution on the field coming into play?
No, I think that's, the most important piece. And that was my job, to find the players that we felt can execute. And then I would talk to coach, what do you think about this guy? And even now, every week, I'm still looking. I'm always still looking because I believe Dallas has the talent. If we bring in these 4 or 5 from Brazil, plus another new 4 or 5 from Dallas, it can take us past that level of execution that where we work on at practice, they have that psychological advantage to put the ball in the back of the net right at the end, because we're not going to change our style. I think we spoke about it briefly. You know, a lot of people call in Barcelona crazy back in the late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s when
Yeah.
they were keeping the ball, playing it all the way back to the keeper. I'm a Man United fan. When we wanted
Not
to
gonna
bring
hold that against you.
we wanted to bring Pep Guardiola over in the mid 2000s. I was like, yes, and they were like, no, he passes the ball backwards. Well, guys, this is the new evolution of the game, and now it's evolved even more. Not only possession, now you have to have counterattack. So there's a lot of things that keep evolving in this game, and once we can get this style and hammer it in, which I believe we're doing right now, the execution part will follow. And once that does, we're going to go to another level.
Interesting. And, you know, execution, I mean, obviously the players on the field, what are you guys doing to kind of bring in some of that new blood to match some of that talent that's gone?
So, well, a couple of things. I mean, Jesse, you know, bless his heart, has been working day and night, from the tryouts here in Dallas. He, coordinated everything for us to go to Brazil. But also, too, seeking the right, recruiting the right players. I think that you guys have taken a look at our social media. We brought some ex-MLS players, have joined. Futsal players here from the community, as the United States is also trying to get that sport launched and off the ground, but the national team plays some of those guys. We've been adding a lot of good outdoor players that we think can evolve much quicker than a normal, because they've already been at a high caliber professional role in the outdoor game, not just at a youth or college. So those are some of the things that we're doing. Look, at the end of the day, and I tell this to all of the players, I want you to be happy, and to be happy with the organization, to be happy with the coaching staff, to be happy with the back office, to be happy with your fans. I want you to be happy with everything. And if that's not the case, then everybody must do what's best for them and for their family. And I truly believe that. And so I'm never going to hold anybody back from doing what they think is best for them. We're just going to go to work, and just like any other team, they have to retool and reshape and move forward, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it's interesting because you were really, what I'm seeing, the kind of common thread in these coaches' corners is you're putting together a team that is playing your style. And I mean, it looks like you guys really have a strategy.
No, absolutely. No, we do, and we have a crazy strategy as well. I know Símon receives my text messages late at night, and my wife looks at me like I'm crazy because I have a board in my house, and I'm writing on the board, and I'm sending, look, what do you think about this? Making player comparisons, doing all these, we mentioned IDPs, and just visualizing how can we make this better? How can we continue to make it better? Even now, during practice, we want to have two teams that are not only the same level, but will make each other even better. Like the old saying, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Same thing in practice. If the two teams, we don't want a strong team and a weak team. We want two teams competing for those 15 spots. So that's healthy competition. And like we said, we pick the final 15 every week. We talk about it, and with all confidence, I believe this year is going to be a max year.
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, watching what you guys are putting together as a fan as well, I'm excited to see this infusion of talent, these new players that are coming in, and just watching them progress in the new style components. So great insights, Coach Jesse. Appreciate you coming here today and talking with us. You've just seen another great episode of Coach's Corner. I'm Matt Thornton with DallasSidekicks.com, and we'll see you next time.